So these next excerpts are from a British political satire called Yes, Prime Minister. It aired in the late 80s, something like 1986 to 87, I think. But if I'll tell you the truth, it could have been written today. So here's a quick breakdown.
So what was the other point?
Yes, well, the Arabs have put down a motion at the United Nations condemning Israel. Naturally, we'll be voting on the Arab side.
Oh, naturally.
Oh wow, begging the Arab side again, taking their side. What a bloody surprise! Since their mandate days, no less.
But I gather that the PM wants us to abstain.
Oh, surely not. Why?
Well, something about the PLO starting at this time, faults on both sides, the usual sentimental nonsense. Sucking up to the Americans, as always.
Faults on both sides. The oldest lie in the book. Like blaming the victim for fighting back. They always do this. It's never about who started and like always, well, the Arabs started it. But somehow Israel ends up being the problem for daring to hit back. And yes, cue the mandatory butt-kissing to the Americans.
Of course, if that's what you want. But don't forget, once you start interfering in the internal squabbles of another country, you're on a very slippery slope.
And Britain should know this because it created the entire problems in the Middle East.
Anything else?
Yes, I gather we're proposing to vote against Israel in the UN tonight.
Of course.
Why?
They bombed the PLO.
The PLO bombed Israel.
Yes, but the Israelis dropped more bombs than the PLO.
Again, same game. Ignore who fired first, blame Israel for defending itself, and don't forget that the PLO were actually considered a terror organization back in the 1980s. Not exactly peace lovers, and if you ask me, still today they are a terror organization.
No, they didn't.
Well, anyway, it seems to be the faults on both sides.
Well, not according to my advice.
Well, the Americans are worried about it. They want us to abstain tonight.
Oh wow. The Americans want Britain to abstain. How brave. Nothing says moral leadership like asking someone else to do nothing so you don't have to get your hands oily, dirty. Pretend to be neutral so you don't have to defend Israel or offend the oil dealers. Cowardice dressed up as diplomacy.
And then there's this business of the UN vote on Israel tonight. The Americans want us to abstain.
Well, sure, it's a question of our maintaining our relationship with the Arabs. The power of Islam. Oil supplies.
Bingo! Oil and Islam, the two pillars of British foreign policy in the Middle East. Britain's whole doctrine is summed up in one word: petroleum.
Humphrey, I'm talking about what's right and wrong.
Well, don't let the Foreign Office hear you.
Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen, the most honest line in the scene. Don't let morality affect foreign policy. He actually said that. Morals are fine as long as they don't mess with power, money, or oil.
Well, if you insist on an even-handed approach, the Foreign Office might agree to your abstaining on the matter of Israel, so long as you authorize our man there to make a powerful speech attacking Zionism.
Classic Britain. Pretend to stay neutral, but only after spitting on Zionism in the General Assembly. Nothing says diplomacy like a polite stab in the back. Zionism, by the way, is the Jewish movement for self-determination in their historic homeland.
Surely we should use the debate to promote peace, harmony, goodwill.
Well, it'd be most unusual. The UN is the accepted forum for the expression of international hatred.
Well, when he's right, he ain't wrong. The UN, where anti-Semitism gets diplomatic credentials. Remember that power of Islam line from earlier? It's code for we're too scared to stand up, so we bent the knee. Those Muslim majority blocs run the show, and oil keeps everyone playing along.
What about defending democracy on St. George's Island?
Well, not if it harms British interests by upsetting those whom we wish to keep as friends.
Oh, right. So democracy is wonderful unless it risks oil, money, or annoys the right friends. Nothing screams British values like sipping tea while bowing to oil-soaked monarchs and stabbing Israel in the back at the UN.
Humphrey, are you saying that Britain should not support law and justice?
No, of course we should, Prime Minister. We just shouldn't let it affect our foreign policy.
We should always fight for the weak against the strong.
Well, then why don't we send troops to Afghanistan to fight the Russians?
The Russians are too strong.
Of course, because moral clarity is optional, but oil and power, always top priority. This wasn't exaggeration, it was satire, but only because they dared to say it on TV. And you know, nothing's changed since their mandate days in Israel. It's been the same playbook: pretend neutrality, fake balance, total moral cowardice. They called it comedy, but let's be honest, it might be the most truthful thing Britain ever broadcast. Don't forget to share this video, and if you're not following me by now, follow me, cause who else is gonna keep it real and keep you entertained? Someone's gotta tell it like it is, might as well be me.